did a smirk, so he's got a good one too.
I feel like my picks for underrated and overrated are gonna be controversial.
Uh-oh.
Um, but my underrated artist of the year, forgetting about what happened in 2017, is Post Malone.
Underrated?
Yes.
He's
Okay.
huge. He's huge.
Underrated. No, yeah,
He's
he is big, but he's still underrated.
I think he went diamond on YouTube. His song had like 1.5 billion views. The
Okay,
Sunshine one with the
Sunshine.
yeah, the
Sunflower.
song, the Spider-Man
Sunflower.
song he
Wow.
did had like 1.5 billion
That,
views.
that was a couple years ago.
That's true.
Okay,
That's true.
he hasn't dropped an album for a few years. He kind of like went under the radar a bit.
Wait, he dropped the album this year.
He dropped an album this year, but before
Oh,
that one, it had been I think at least 2 or 3 years before he since his last album.
okay.
And he kind of states it in the album that like, he fell off, came back. His one of the tracks is like a letter to his himself about his love-hate relationship with alcohol because I think he has um some a bit of issues with that personally. I
Mm.
don't know, I just think he's underrated.
49 million listeners a month on on Spotify.
Oh, you're trying to make me find some underground
Whoa.
person who's like really underrated?
No,
Like,
no,
The
I'm
whole
joking. I'm
Canada
joking.
population in 1 month. This guy.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, it's
I'm
fine.
just
I feel
I
you.
did it too last year and Bam got mad at me. I did a popular underrated one. He was like, that's ridiculous.
No,
I think it was
honestly,
I think it was a little baby. I said it was underrated. Bam was like, are you kidding me? He's huge.
no, I don't even listen to Post Malone, so I understand where you're coming from because he has kind of fallen out of like the everyday talk kind of guy. So I
yeah.
feel you. Okay, Caesar, who's your underrated?
My underrated artist is named after two things I identify with. Number one, being emotional. Number two, I love oranges. My underrated artist of the year is actually a group called Emotional Oranges.
Caesar,
What?
they're big, dude.
They're not big.
Emotional Oranges is
They're
big.
not big.
Oh my god.
She just dropped Post Malone. I can't get on Emotional Oranges.
I mean, I feel you. I feel you.
What the hell? They've never even had a smash hit song yet. They're like kind of big low key, but
You're
not like
right. You're right.
big.
I mean, they
you
got
don't even know one album name. Shut the fuck up out of here.
okay. They only got 1 million listeners a month.
Yeah,
So
she got 40 of them in 1 month with Post Malone. It's 40 million people more. Anyways, Emotional Oranges. They remind me of, I don't know if you remember that song from like the early 2000s, Don't Mess With My Man. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I don't know why you're giggling for. The fuck is so funny? It's a great song. I'm gonna be the one to give it to you. That song is really important to me because it's like one of like the early hip hop songs I remember being a fob in America. I just remember that song very much. And they kind of have like that. Can I finish?
Do you know whose song that is?
Yeah, Nivea, whatever.
And who else?
And one of the dudes from he's half of the shook one guys or whatever, right?
What?
He's half of a rap group. I forgot the name.
Mobb Deep?
Yeah, isn't it the guy from Mobb Deep? Who is it?
Holy shit.
Who is it?
Oh, it's the dude from Jagged Edge, yo.
Oh, yeah. One of the twins in Jagged Edge. One of the twins from Jagged Edge. Don't ever sleep. I know there's twins on there. He's one of the twins in Jagged Edge. He does a song too. It never worked out for him because it doesn't work out for the other twin ever. But anyways, Bama's the worst. Emotional Oranges. They kind of remind me of that same kind of style that don't mess around that vibe of like the male female relationship kind of talk hip hop kind of attitude, like early 2000s kind of music. They do that a lot in songs they make, and it just sounds really cool. I don't like Volume 2, but the Juice Volume 1 I think is really good, and their last album is pretty good too. They have some hits on here like West Coast Love, and yeah, they got some hits on there. They're always like a good listen, and also if you're with somebody, you're just not riding with somebody in the car, it's always a good bump because it's hard to not like kind of like vibe to it. So it's always good to put on the car too. Yeah, I like Emotional. They're just a good vibe, good energy.
I always kind of felt like they were industry plants too, actually, though.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm also
Right.
mad that they're not in a relationship. It kind of makes me annoyed a little bit too. I'm like, you guys aren't even a couple, but you'd be talking real couple. It makes me a little comfortable. But go off.
Yeah, but it's all good though. Okay, my underrated artist of the year was gonna get an eye roll from Caesar. My boy, he got shot last year. He got shot up bad. Staples all in his stomach. You know what I mean? And his homie died in that shooting. It's a car shooting off Manchester and Crenshaw, I think, honestly, in LA. His boy Darby got killed, but he survived. They thought he was out of here, but he survived. Frosty the Snowman, aka Snow Gerb. He's out here putting out songs. They're fire. First of all, Caesar's funny because every Frosty song I've sent him, he was bumping into. He was liking it. He liked Make It Cheesy.
Make It Cheesy is a banger.
Yeah, you like them songs. He's got some fire.
I'll never listen to him or follow him, but I like when you do put it on. It's a good switch up.
It's fire songs. He's from Inglewood. Everybody knows that I like. If I'm gonna listen to some gangster rappers from LA, I want to hear the Bloods rapping. I don't want to hear no Crips rapping. Not for real anyway. But yeah, Frosty goes hard. I don't know if Holly would like Frosty that much. I feel like you'd be like, this is a bit much for me. But maybe though. I don't know. I don't know. But Frosty is my underrated artist of the year in 2023. He's gonna be releasing some bangers. He got a album coming up with Project Baby Twin out of Watts. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing this so Caesar can be annoyed. Caesar and I rode through Watts a few years ago. I got my first vaccine shot in Watts. You know what I mean? It was very ghetto, for sure. But yeah. Holly, how familiar are you with LA? Like, not really, or because I don't know what people know about LA from other places.
No, I'm not familiar with it.
But like, you've heard of Compton and stuff, maybe?
Oh yeah.
What about Watts? Have you heard of Watts?
Probably in songs.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's kind of
What about Inglewood?
No.
No, okay.
That's where all those sports teams are at.
What about Long Beach?
Long Beach. Yeah. Okay.
Because Snoop. Okay.
Told you we're bigger than Inglewood, anyways.
I mean, you are.
Okay.
Okay, let's get overrated artists. This is always one of my favorites. Overrated artists is always one of my favorites.
This is my only honorable mention.
Oh, nice. I love that. Holly, even though Holly, you're kind of nice, so I feel like you didn't even want to do this, but let's get your overrated artist of the year.
Okay. This one again controversial probably to you too, but this artist is my overrated artist every year. But like respectfully overrated.
I have an idea.
Okay, you can let me know if it's who you're thinking, but it is my fellow Canadian.
Yes.
Drake.
Drizzy Drake. Yes.
These are crying or laughing.
He's like, why are you hating on? He's like, just because he lives 2 floors above you in that building.
But okay, but like again, respectfully, like I do. It's not overrated as in like, oh, he doesn't deserve the credit that he gets, or like he does have some bangers, and dropping an album every year is impressive, and like a different one each time at that. So I do like him. I just think like realistically every year he's probably just a bit overrated, because he could drop absolute dookie and it still is, up there in the charts, for whether it's for good reasons or bad reasons. But I don't know.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
Caesar.
But like,
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Caesar, what you got? Overrated.
Well, now I just added Post Malone on here randomly. Shocker. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
like
kidding.
SZA.
I'm just kidding. Okay. I'm going to do my honorable mention first.
Interesting.
I want to just list this person on here because the only reason they're overrated is because I've never seen someone's name be discussed so much in current trend, and not one person can tell me a single song this person has made, what hit they've made, what they've contributed, and why the hell they were allowed to immigrate here. I gave it to Tory Lanez. I'd never seen someone have such a popularity clout, especially during COVID when he was doing the IG lives, but we do not know one song. What song did he make? What is it?
Does Holly know some songs? That's a Canadian.
I don't really listen to Tory Lanez.
Yeah, no.
See, Holly's still an ally. Look, listen here, dog. The Tory Lanez, everyone talks about him, but no one knows a song. I hate him. The lawnmower dude is right here outside my window.
We can't hear. We
Okay,
can't hear
good. Thank God for this mic. Yeah, so I got to give it to Tory Lanez. Now, I'm going to give this overrated artist, and everybody in North America is going to disagree with me. Everybody probably outside of there too. Everybody's going to hate me for this, and I honestly don't care. I don't care. I stayed quiet when the album came out out of everybody being like emotional about it. I don't care. I think the most overrated artist is Kendrick Lamar. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't watch the video of him sitting on the stool rapping while people are walking down a runway and tell me if this dude is not overrated. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. I'm from Long Beach, and everyone here is obsessed with him, and everybody in LA is obsessed with him, and it's a whole thing. And I am not. I'm not obsessed. It's overrated. How Holly feels about her resident Canadians, how I feel about my resident Angeline, Kendrick Lamar. I'm sorry, overrated. I don't want to hear it. No one's even talking about him anymore. Really, I'm sorry. The album is not ever timeless either. I'm sorry. No.
I can appreciate Caesars because I can't stand no short rapper, and both them dudes are. Short,
I did do two rappers under 5'6" as my overrated, and I'm gonna keep attacking the short kings as long as this show goes on.
I do remember Tory Lanez like first song that was like kind of got him on the scene.
What was it called?
He was singing, but I don't remember like the exact name of that song. But it was like a flip of an R&B song that was like popular in the 90s.
Is he like an R&B artist? I'm so confused. I don't know what he does.
He kind of did the Chris Brown thing.
The only thing he's popular for is freestyling on a Twitch stream.
Well, okay. Also, he's done a few like freestyles where he's rapping and he's like taking people's bars and like people have been like, this is like, look, this is like literally Cassidy's lines. Like, so he's a bit phony.
He does that a lot, or he'll like sample like a lot, which like is cool. I love when artists sample old songs or something like that. But I swear he does like every single track.
Yeah. There's no original pieces.
Is this really yours? Like,
I remember I think this was the first video he did after the Shooting Meg stuff came out. And I never seen somebody have like people in the background that look just like you literally just grab people off the street. Like it was like you have no entourage. You were just like, hey, if you're in Camden right now, just please come to my video shoot. Like it was so weak. And also I remember he was at the Breakfast Club and they were having the camera like above him and he was like getting mad because it was going to show his bald spot.
Yeah. And also I hate the video of him playing basketball when he didn't get his hair plugs fixed and his like hair was all patchy and he's like,
oh my God.
Oops. I'm like, you don't need to do this. You can just not go outside today. It's okay.
I think he thought he was hard after he pressed Travis Scott that time. And I'm like, I don't think Travis Scott want to fight anybody.
I mean, he's like, I'm not even trying to troll. He's literally 5'3". Like it's literally. It's really strange. He's
probably like, what's wrong with you, bro? Okay, my overrated artist is also another short guy. I have liked songs by this guy in the past, but I thought he came back really corny when he got out of jail. And this was like supposed to be his big hit. When he came out was Super Gremlin. And I was like, this is garbage. Kodak Black. I'm like, what is this song? This is really corny. It sounds like Hard Knock Life. And it's really whack. And also, when he got pardoned by Trump, I'm like, dog, you're supposed to be some gangster, dude. Like, you don't got to go put on the hat and go to Mar-a-Lago. Like, the dude pardon you, chunk the deuce and keep it moving, yo. Like, aren't you supposed to be some gangster? Like, You paid to get pardoned. Everybody knows that. Chunk a deuce thanks, buddy, and keep it pushing. Don't go skinning and grinning over there to Mar-a-Lago with no damn Make America Great Again hat on. And also another thing y'all are not gonna care about. When he came out of just he was over here typing something, he's like, Jesus Christ. When he was in jail, he had an interview when he came out of jail. He said that when he was locked up, he was running with the Bloods. I'm like, really? You supposed to be some super Zoe Haitian out here? But if you remember, after Nipsey got killed, he was talking about he want to go holler at Lauren London. And then a lot of people were like mad at him about that. So his ass got locked up and the Crips was on his ass. So he started getting extorted by the Bloods was probably like, hey, dude, like we'll protect you, but you're going to need to pay us. No. And his lame, corny, fake gangster ass got in there and got extorted by the Bloods because the Crips was going to beat his ass or kill him for the shit he said about Nipsey's ex, widow, Kodak Black, overrated, you're corny.
He's categorically had one of the worst appearances on Freshman Freestyle in history on XXL. That video of him over there, like, it was like hilarious.
Well, he just said Todd randomly.
Yeah, it like Todd is just incredible. I think he's a comedian. Like his clips are funny. Like the video of him on Breakfast Club is one of my favorite videos of all time. But I do think the only album I think he made that was really good and was Dying to Live in 2018, the Dying to Live. I think that's a fantastic album. I love that album. And I have just not listened to Kodak Black ever since then. It's never brought me back. And then I listened to Super Gremlin because I love that title. I was like, oh, you name a song Super Gremlin, I'm gonna click on it. That's a great name. And I was like, what is this? And I turned it off.
Really bad. Kodak do have one of my favorite hip-hop songs called Snot Thought. But I like it because he's like talking about a girl who's like a thought, but he still like her. And I'm like that. Like you've been out there doing your thing. Like I like that. So I can respect that song.